Welcome. You have reached Imperial Sports, and today's um, conversation is going to be what is wrong with the Clippers, and it's not really complex. Clippers is faced with a do or die situation. This is currently September the 14th, 2020, and they're in a game seven with the Nuggets. That is on the 15th, September 15th, 2020. So it's going to be a huge game. And this could be a testament that the Nuggets are more a formidable opponent than people give them credit for, or it's what we've been seeing with the Clippers all year long. So this is really not surprising. The Clippers, but people are down on the Clippers right now because they had this series 3-1. So you know, true championship teams, they don't give a team hope, and they lost their last two games. So even if a championship team, they give them that when they was up 3-1, they get it to 3-2. They seal the deal in that sixth game or whatever, because you don't get into a game seven. So they didn't do that. So it raises major concerns. In game six, they were up 16 at the half and fell apart. And it's been plenty of times, even when they played Dallas in the first round, that it's been games where they've been up, but they don't keep the lead. They get into emotion. They all hyped and smiles, but they don't keep it. They let you right back into the game, and it's because they're not dominant or whatever. And also, so Kawhi Leonard is catching a bad rap. But if anybody looks at the statistics of the playoffs, Kawhi's leading the team in everything. Kawhi's not really the reason why. It's, of course, you could pick out some individual things that you could have said Kawhi could have did better. He's not the reason that they haven't stomped it. In my opinion, Kawhi has been consistent with his game. Kawhi is not the quote unquote explosive scorer that you need, that you would want him to be, like where he could take it to another level of scoring, where he's scoring out of control. That say, yo, that's why he got a complete game, but that's why that's how you're gonna win, because he could go off. Kawhi's not a scorer like that. He's not extremely fast and uh, got moves to blow past people, and he's just, he got a, like we call it a old um, YMCA type game or whatever, and it's effective and it works. But Kawhi's averaging, he leads the team in points, 29.4 in the playoffs, 9.6 rebounds in the playoffs, 5.5 assists in the playoffs, 2.3 steals in the playoffs, 0.8 blocks in the rest. He leads the Clippers in all categories. It's not Kawhi. The problem is the rest of his bandmates is not uh, following through. You have Paul George. He had a good game six game, but he's been inconsistent, where he doesn't have the offensive explosion that is needed at times. And the uh, the bad part is Paul George used to be a one in Indiana, where you would, some of those moments you like to see pop back, like, okay, I got this game tonight, I'm gonna have like 50, and just to get us over the hump. We don't have that. Paul George will have a good game because he had 28 to 33 points, somewhere like that, and uh, they don't have that explosion. You have uh, Patrick Beverley, he's been hampered with injuries uh, throughout the playoffs. He didn't start off inside the bubble. He had personal issues, then came back. So they've been like dismal the whole year coming into the playoffs. RIP to um, Montrezl Harrell, grandma. So he had a personal thing going on, but he has looked a shell of himself. He's like a poor man's Ben Wallace, and he's been a shell of himself, man. He's not effective at all. He won the Sixth Man of the Year, and he's not effective. He averaged 19 in the regular season. Since coming back into the bubble, he got to play himself in shape. He averages about 9 points. Not effective at all. He's not giving them really much. Last game, he probably had like 5 points. So he's not effective at all, because what happens is, if he's not giving you that electrifying, like pit back dunks, that energy where he just tear down there, then he's no good for you out there, because he doesn't defend very well. He's not a workhorse to get rebounds. See, one thing with when you say a poor man's Ben Wallace, one thing with Ben Wallace might average 8 or 9 points, but he's gonna get you 13 to 16 rebounds off of hustle and effort. You don't get that for Harrell, where okay, I'm not effective on offense, and so, but what I will be is I'm gonna be effective on defense, and I'm gonna get hustle and get these rebounds and stuff. You don't have that. Like I just read to you, um, Kawhi leads the team in rebounds with 9. So, you know, really, Harrell all he is he don't have no go-to moves and stuff like that. He's a pick back, alley hoop type player, that type stuff, you know. But he's not. Um, he made a way for himself, but he's not. It's more hype than when you actually look at his game. You know, he's kind of one dimensional or whatever. You take away what he's good at, he's not effective out there. Another disappointment is Lou Williams. Is subpar, man. You know, you can't. The biggest problem with the Clippers is lack of discipline. You know, if you Lou Williams, y'all did good. Y'all did great without having Paul George and Kawhi Leonard. Y'all made it to the playoffs. Doc Williams had y'all believing, and when people seen y'all was getting Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, they was just like, wow, okay, this gonna be the West Coast version of the Raptors, like, cause y'all was already winning. It seemed like almost as soon as Kawhi and Paul George came, there was some type of like slightiness felt by Lou Williams and Harrell, like, because now they coming, they gonna steal y'all thunder. So y'all never really gelled with them the whole year, and it showed the Christmas game against the Lakers. And to me, and I have no way to prove this. It's just what my eyes see, the eye test. So it looked to me that Lou Williams and Harrell looked high that game. They looked high that game. It looked like they were playing out there. They chiefed before the game earlier that day, and they just looked high. Lou Williams was a shell of himself. And Clippers end up still winning that game, but they could have, if Harrell and Lou Williams was more effective, they could have blown the Lakers out that game or whatever. Beverly was balling, Kawhi was balling, Paul George, I think he had just came back at that time, so he was really subpar. But you know, so it's really those two. The real main reason why the Clippers are struggling. Harrell and Williams have not found a way to get out their own way to contribute to the team to make them more effective. Even if they pull Game 7 out and beat the Nuggets, if they do. Because right now they're looking like Denver is on a high. They got high confidence. They know they could beat them. It's Game 7, and let's just wipe them off the map. Clippers is not what we thought they were or whatever. So If they pull out Game 7 and win, they still go to the Lakers, and the Lakers could potentially sweep them or win in 5. Now, you might hear somebody say that, like, oh, no, it ain't no way. What are you not seeing that I'm not seeing? The Lakers look more dominant out there. Lakers got their issues too. And remember, it was a while there in the bubble. The Lakers couldn't shoot. They couldn't make a bucket. LeBron was complaining about the rims and all this crazy stuff. Then, as time went on, they found their stride. Now they're knocking down jump shots, and they're more effective out there. Lakers look more dominant. I can't see this team that we're seeing struggling against teams that they should have dominated. Especially what they look like on paper, but the execution on the court is not the same. So they may struggle with the Lakers. I don't see how you can really turn it around and get that continuity that you need as a team to be that effective to beat the Lakers, even if they pull the Nuggets out or whatever. And the way you see Denver playing, it's almost like you're looking at it and you're saying, the Nuggets is playing with house money, as some will call it. And it's like you might want to see them face the Lakers more. It seems like they give them more of a more competition, because you're looking at Jokic. He's doing whatever he want to do. He's really, man, I didn't really pay attention to his game like that, but he's looking all world versus the Clippers. And if he's doing that, you're looking at AD. AD has been dominant against the Clippers every game they played them. They had no answer for AD the whole time. Zubac is Zubac, and really Zubac, they was like, yeah, the Lakers traded Zubac. He was a quality player. Man, Zubac is do out there. Man, get out of here. Zubac need to work on his game. Find out somebody like Jokic, what he's doing to help his game, and that's what he need to do. Get out of LA and go work on your game, because he gives them nothing. He's effective nothing or whatever. So, like I said, Zubac, do. Now, Morris is okay at moments. He do shoot the three well, surprisingly. However, I don't know where he whatchamacallit. And the way what LA has done is they took his twin brother and now has got him in a rotation and has been effective with him. So I see what they're doing. Like, they're preparing for it. If we got to play the Clippers, we're going to have twin against twin. You know, that could be a psychological thing there. Might cancel each other out. Even though Marcus is a little bit better than Markieff, but, you know, mentally could do something. So they're playing chess out here, man. And really, in a nutshell, what's wrong with the Clippers? They haven't gelled as a team. Like, I got your back, you got mine. We out here together. We going to war together. They don't have that continuity. A lot of it has been because they didn't get to play a lot with each other due to injuries, and then they just been playing on a limb. Starting of the bubble. Patrick Beverly, personal issues, didn't start out in the bubble. Lou Williams, undisciplined, trying to be at the gentlemen's clubs and undisciplined. He missed games. Harrell, the loss of his grandma or whatever, and you know, he didn't know whether he can find the mental fortitude to get back and play. He did, and it's kind of one of those things, like, if you really mentally don't have it in you, you were better off sitting out. People could understand this is a contract year, and win, lose, or draw, you don't sign. If you the Clippers, you don't sign Harrell to a big contract. You let Harrell go off somewhere else and get his money somewhere else. He's not worth whatever he's going to be looking for. He reminds me of the years when Kenyon Martin was with the New Jersey Nets and Jason Kidd, and they seen him, this guy averaging like 19, 20 points, 8, 9 rebounds, something like that. They was like, man, this guy Clippers, Kenyon Martin is Kmart. It had a name for him, everything. Kmart, man, he's explosive. He's everything. And he went and cashed in with the Denver Nuggets. And they thought he was going to be like a Karl Malone type player, like power forward that could, get his own points and effective. Man, they ran that half court offense. Do. So, that was a big shock. And they was like, damn, what happened? We don't see the same player. He benefited off of somebody like Jason Kidd that, could get him the ball, get him out of here so he could get pit backs. Another player, Sean Marion, benefited off a point guard like Steve Nash. That D'Antoni system, running up and down the court and, getting alley hoops, pit backs and stuff like that. It made Sean Marion look better than he actually was. But then if you somebody that is paying attention to the game, you can see, so that's the same thing I see with Harrell. A lot of his points come from pit backs and, get it a little busy downside. He don't really got no go-to moves. Kind of hustle and effort on offense. He don't even have the hustle and effort on defense. Because you can see it. He only, look at the rebounds he averaged. You know what I'm saying? And so even when he leaves, I would let him leave. You don't pay him. You don't invest that money in him or whatever, because you can make up the difference with him, and it's showing right now or whatever. And somebody can say, well, mentally, well, he shouldn't have came back, and everybody would respect him for it. Anybody that lost somebody close to them know what it mentally could do to somebody. So, but he, in his mind, and I don't know what he's thinking. So he thought I could come back, but he's not effective out there at all. So at the end of the day, in my opinion, Doc Rivers is it coaching? He can't get out there. He can just tell him whatever. He can't get out there and execute. I don't think it's Kawhi Leonard. You know what I'm saying? If people who's attacking Kawhi right now is basically saying Kawhi could do more, but they don't understand his game. In my opinion, he's giving you everything. Look at the statistics. Statistics show it out there. It's moments you can always depict in any loss what somebody could do better. But when you got a guy that's leading the whole team in all statistical categories, what more can he do? Only thing that's missing in Kawhi is he's not the explosive scorer of Kevin Durant or LeBron at his age, when he was his age. You know what I'm saying? And LeBron ain't known for being an explosive scorer, but he could be more dominant, especially at the age that Kawhi is, when LeBron was that age, or whatever, like a Kobe type. We don't even want to say MJ because we already know what that's about. He don't have that explosive scoring. Like, I seen people give Steph Curry a lot of flack, but I seen Steph Curry get explosion. He might ain't have the rest of the team with him, but you seen those explosion scores. Kawhi don't have that. He got like an old man YMCA game. Come there, you see him in there, basic game, dropping all the young cats off or whatever. Kawhi get you exactly what he averaging, 29 points. He might go up a little higher, might have like 34, 35. Might come down a little lower, might get you 26. But it's consistent somewhere around there. He doing all he could do. It's just the rest of the team ain't coming with him. But he catches a flag because he is the lead or whatever. The silent leader. So that's why he catching it. But it's not him. Paul George is what he is. He just where he at right now. He can be the Scottie Pippen to Michael Jordan, but I don't expect that much. He's going to have his moments, but it is what it is. Patrick Belly, he fouled out that Game 6 against the Nuggets. I don't expect much from Patrick Belly but hustle and grit, He have his moments, he knocked down some shots, but that's all I expect from him. The key is Lou Williams and Harrell. Them jokers, both of them jokers was averaging 19 regular season and both was runner up for 6-man. Harrell ended up getting it. Where are you at now? They're the difference in this playoffs. If you get a chance to listen to this video, subscribe to the channel, like the video, leave a comment on your opinion on what's wrong with the Clippers. Till next time.